Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanachhalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Vrijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganarita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Shubhanuste Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Parishthaya Bhutale Padaya Krishna Parishthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Parisharini Kam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Yangheti Girim Yatkripatamahamam Vande Shri Gurun Dintaranam Paramananda Madhavam Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our discussion on the Atmarama verse. Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahaitukim bhaktim itham bhuta guno hari. Lord Chaitanya is explaining to Srila Sanatana Goswami the glories of devotional service and how the prayojan of devotional service is Purushartha Shiromani. Generally, the Vedas speak about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But the devotee and the Bhagavatam and other scriptures are replete with quotes that the devotee is not interested in these four. So one may say, how does that make sense? If somebody is not interested, Dharma, Artha, Kama, one can still understand, but not even interested in Moksha. Normally, we would say somebody who is not interested in Moksha is a fool. So there are two kinds of people who are not interested in Moksha. Of course, when we talk about moksha here, we are talking more specifically about the liberation where one intends to merge into the impersonal Brahman. Because when one goes back to the spiritual world, one is also liberated. So in that sense, moksha is included within attainment of devotional service to the Lord in the spiritual world. But the devotee is not so concerned about liberation. In fact, the devotee is relishing such great pleasure, Atmaramascha munayo, Ahaitukim bhakti. The Ahituki bhakti is giving them such joy that even they are not bothered about liberation. Now, what that means is, in very simple words, those who are spiritually inclined, they are always, their top point is, I am suffering in this ocean of material existence, I want to get out. Isn't it? Huh? So, that is considered a healthy impetus in spirituality. Huh? The first step of spiritual life generally is said to be what? Realization of the miseries of material existence. Krishna himself points out to this particular point. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. An intelligent person sees the miseries of material life as birth, old age, disease, death. And that's a very strong impetus. I want to be free from this no matter, otherwise I will go on suffering. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. But a devotee who is experiencing the bliss of Krishna, his beauty, his qualities, his pastimes, the bliss of serving him with unmotivated desire, the experience of bliss, the taste that the devotee experiences in that kind of an unmotivated service is so wonderful that he feels it is even better than simply being liberated. The devotee feels, even if I'm in the material world, no problem. I'm okay to take birth again and again. No problem. That's not such a big deal. Because if I'm experiencing this amazing taste, it doesn't matter where I am. That is what Lord Shiva tells Parvati, right? The Chitraketu pastime. Narayana para sarve na kutashana bibyati swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyartha darshina. That the devote, those who are fully dedicated to Lord Hari, they are experiencing such pleasure, they are not bothered whether they are in heaven, no big deal. Apavarga, liberation, liberated also okay, not liberated also okay, in the birth and that also okay. Why? Narkeshu api, even if they are in hell, tulyartha darshana. They are not bothered about the external environment, they are just bothered about their beautiful experience of pure devotional service. So, in that way, the supreme position of the goal of pure devotional service is being emphasized here. I'm just mentioning this again and again so we don't lose focus on this central point. Because if you forget everything else, it's still okay, all this analysis. Do not forget that the attainment of pure devotional service stands above liberation. And the experience of devotional service of Krishna, which is attained through the association of pure devotees, appeals to everyone. And across these various meanings of this verse that Lord Chaitanya is explaining to Sanatana Goswami, and we'll be discussing some of those categories now out of the 64 meanings, various categories. Lord Chaitanya derives so many interpretations of the word Atmarama. Some of them we already discussed, those who are liberated. Amongst them, there are 6 categories who are liberated or on the path of yoga, 6 categories on the path of jnana. Then we spoke about Atmarama, those who take pleasure in the body, in the self, in the form of body. Amongst them, there are so many, in the form of intelligence, there are various levels of intelligence. We discussed about that in the last class. And now we are about to discuss further interpretations of the Atmarama word. Overall, what the Lord is trying to say is, doesn't matter who you are. Krishna is attractive to everyone. Of course, even those who are liberated are attracted. That is the pinnacle. Normally, you would think that liberated souls, why would they be attracted to anything? But even they are. Atmaramo chamunaya nirjrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahitukim bhaktim tam bhuta gunahari. And so many examples have been given. Shukadeva Goswami, the 4 Kumaras, and so on and so forth. So many. But this is not just limited to pure devotees. The Lord is attracted to everyone. That is why the name Krishna is so apt. Akarshati iti Krishna. Even when Krishna went to Mathura, everyone in Mathura was attracted. Even demons, when they see Krishna, even though their enmity may not go away immediately, they can. It's a wow, Personality is so magnetic. Akarshati. So Lord Chaitanya is continuing his explanation. And again, like what I mentioned the last time, I'm not going to cover each and every point. There's so much grammatical analysis. I'm just going to pick some of the key points and continue our discussion. He says another meaning of the word Atma is also one's nature, my nature, characteristic nature. And whoever enjoys his particular nature can also be called Atmarama. So, of course, when we say nature, there is an eternal nature, which is the spiritual, and there is a acquired nature based on the body that we have. So here he is referring to the acquired nature. All living entities, that's why Lord Chaitanya says moving or non-moving can also be called Atmarama, because everyone is enjoying their own Atma nature. Yes, originally each and every living entity is considered eternal servant of Krishna, but under the influence of Maya, they take a body, their consciousness is covered. But even they, cha api, Atma Ramasya Nirgrantapi Urukrame, cha and api. Even all kinds of living beings are attracted to Krishna. They also worship Krishna. What to speak of great personalities like the four Kumaras? Even low class, foolish people, trees, plants, birds, beasts, they are also attracted. We discussed Sanatan earlier about Vyasa, Shuka, Kumaras. They are all liberated. They are attracted. This doesn't mean that Krishna is not attractive to those who are still conditioned. He is still attractive. Everyone, because constitutionally each and every person is Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. In potentiality, each and every living entity is eligible to receive Krishna's mercy. And by receiving Krishna's mercy, they are gradually elevated to the platform of his devotional service. Even low-born creatures, even trees, even plants, even beasts, everyone can be elevated. And Lord Chaitanya quotes various verses from the Bhagavatam, where in the transcendental land of Braja, there are various descriptions of how Krishna gave his mercy to the trees, the birds, the beasts, and each of these living forms in their own respective ways, how they received Krishna's mercy, how they reciprocated with Krishna. Even when Krishna's fingernails would touch the trees and the creepers, even when Krishna's merciful glance would fall on the birds and the beasts, and for gopis and the friends, they would be able to receive the beautiful blessing of the transcendental touch of the Supreme Lord. All of these, no matter in what way they get connected with the Lord, either the physical contact or even through Krishna's glance. Krishna's glance is said to be extremely beautiful. Amongst the various aspects of Krishna's beauty, Krishna's face is very beautiful. And on the face, Krishna's smiling face is even more beautiful. Smita Hasa, gentle smile on Krishna. That is extremely attractive. So if Krishna looks at somebody into his eyes, into their eyes directly, and looks at them and smiles, how attractive it will be. What a shower of mercy that will be. So that is also contact. Because even when Krishna sees, Krishna touches through his glance. Krishna's touch is not always just like this. Krishna is touching through his glance. When Krishna glances with love at a living entity, Krishna's loving touch, Krishna's embrace through his loving glance is experienced by the devotee. So we should hanker for that kind of a loving glance from Krishna. So many verses Lord Chaitanya quotes of how Krishna was herding the cows and how the cows would be so longing when Krishna will touch them, when Krishna will herd them, when Krishna will milk us. It is said when Krishna plays the flute, the moving entity is like the cows and trees. They become stunned and they become frozen. And those which are inanimate objects like stones, they start melting. The trees which are laden with fruits, when Krishna comes, they bend down trying to touch Krishna's lotus feet. That much deep love they have. And then Lord Chaitanya also quotes even those who are fallen amongst the human species. Amongst the human species, those who are following religious principles are considered the beginning of civilized people. What to speak of higher, what to speak of yogis and advanced spiritual practitioners. The lower one who are not following any regulative principles, those who are into sinful activities. This famous verse Lord Chaitanya quotes. What is that verse? Kirat hunandra pulinda pulkasha abhira shumbha yavana khashadayah ye anne cha papa yad upashrayashrayaha shuddhanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha. Shuddhanti tasmai. They also become purified. All these communities which are typically associated with unclean and sinful habits. Kirat, Nandra, Pulinda Pulkasha, Abhira Shumba, Yavana Khasadaya. Ye Annecha and any other sinful group of people. Papa, Yad, Upashrayashraya. Does Upashrayashraya means? Those who take shelter of the devotees of the Lord. They become purified. Shuddhanti Tasmai. That most powerful Vishnu, Prabha Vishnave Namaha. We offer obeisances to Lord Hari. That is the potency of Lord Hari. Simply, even by taking shelter of his devotees, one becomes. So, Lord Chaitanya says these are all the various meanings. This is also another way to understand the Atmarama verse. Then he adds up this meanings plus this meaning. So, Lord Chaitanya is collating all the number of various meanings. I'll not go into the mathematical calculation. Then he also says Atma can also refer to the body. And when it refers to the body, also the meaning of Atma can be taken in four ways. At the most base level, when you say Atma, we are talking about this body and filling the stomach. So those who are very steeped in bodily conception, they consider their own body as Brahman. They are interested in worshipping the abdomen, pet puja. They are interested in worshipping the abdomen. Even such people. And when they go higher, they come from the level of abdomen to the level of the heart, to the level of throat and higher. Huh? Lord Chaitanya is comparing this with higher levels of chakras by which the consciousness grows higher and higher until it comes to Brahma Randra. Especially in the yoga process. Sarkaraksha. That is, they follow gradually, they observe and they come to a higher and higher. They're all at different levels of identification of the self. They have not yet come to the highest level of identification. But they are finding pleasure in different levels of understandings of what is Atma. Correct? That's why even in our scriptures, the word Atma is in different contexts used for different. Atma actually just means self. The question, the what Atma, what is actually being referred to by the word Atma really depends on the context. It depends on what one considers as self. Body can be called as self. Mind can be called as self. Intelligence can be called as self. And the soul can be called self. So these are the four levels. Those who are at these levels of consciousness also can be Atmarama, and they are also attracted to the Supreme Lord. Because when such people who are trying to understand the self at various levels and trying to slowly go deeper and deeper and deeper into realization of the self, when they become fortunate by getting association, initially they may be attracted to fruitive activities. They may be performing yajnas and rituals. When such people come in contact with a pure devotee, they give up the lower conceptions. They give up the lower goals. Dharma, artha, kama. Swarga para. Initially they were Swarga para. They fall the greatest goal of life is to go to heaven and enjoy. Not interested anymore. And they fully engage in the service of the Lord. The tapasvis give up their austerity and engage in devotional service. The jnanis give up their jnana and engage in devotional service. So, at lower stages, one is continuously under the bodily conception, continuously trying to satisfy the body and mind. That's one kind of Atmaram. When such an Atmaram is favored by a devotee of the Lord, he gives up his fake Atma identification and comes to the point of real Atmarama. He understands his real Atma and he understands his Atma is part and parcel of the Param Atma. He understands that devotional service is not an extraneous activity of the soul. It is the natural position of the soul. Just like a part and parcel, its natural function is to serve the whole. That's why the Bhagavatam is very clear. Chaitanya Charitamrita is very clear. Bhakti is not to be achieved from outside. It is one's natural constitutional position. Bhaktir paresha anubhavo viraktis anyatra. Being attached and attracted to the Supreme Self, paresha, para isha, the Supreme Lord. Virakti anyatra, one automatically develops detachment from everything else. He gives an example. How attachment and attraction for everything else goes away. Dhruva Maharaj is such a wonderful example. He was performing austerity with a desire for a kingdom. What happened to him? Through devotional service under the directions of the pure devotee Narad Muni, became so purified, and the final touch of grace came when the conch of Lord Hari, the Lord placed on his head. He started offering beautiful prayers. When the Lord asked him, please ask for some benediction, he said, oh Lord, what? I had some motivation when I started this process, but now I realize how foolish I was. I was searching for some pieces of glass, but in front of me, you, the supreme, most valuable jewel, is standing. I'm so satisfied just by being your devotee and rendering service to you. Varam na yache. I do not want any benediction from you. So all these various meanings. There are a few other smaller meanings which are given. I will not go into that. The Lord discusses a lot of variations of the word Nirgrantha and Muni. I'll come to a specific point which Lord Chaitanya discusses in a fair amount of detail. He says the word Nirgrantha. Nirgrantha api urukrame. He says one meaning of the word Nirgrantha and api means also in the sense of certainty. It means a hunter, a person who is a hunter by profession, or a person who is very poor, Nirgrantha. So one meaning of the word Nirgrantha api means those, even if Nirgrantha api, even though somebody happens to be a hunter, they will also get attracted to Lord Hari. Now, why hunter is mentioned? Because a hunter or the profession of a hunter is not considered a very noble profession. Because the whole profession is based on violence. And oftentimes mindless violence. Because oftentimes hunters are hunting not necessarily even for food, but just for pleasure, just for trophy. So even a person who is a hunter by profession, when such a person, Lord Chaitanya says, associates with a great saint like Narada, he becomes attracted to devotional service. Such a person will actually become worshipable when he gets the association of devotees. Now I will narrate to you, O Sanatan, a story where this actually happened. How a person who was a hunter got transformed through the association of a great devotee like Narad Muni. From this story, you can understand what is the power of association with pure devotee. It's not possible to appreciate devotional service and receive devotional service without association of devotees. One cannot expect. The appreciation of the goal of pure devotional service itself is unattainable without the association and grace of devotees. So listen to this story. Once the great sage Narada Muni, who even is able to go into Vaikunthas, one day he was roaming on earth and he was at Prayagraj. Prayag, Allahabad, the place is the confluence of the Ganges, Yamuna and Saraswati. At that time, he saw along the path a deer was lying, pierced by an arrow. Its leg had broken, an arrow was pierced, and the deer was twitching in pain. And Narad Muni was feeling so pain to see this suffering deer. He had not died, he was writhing in pain, half dead. Narad Muni continued a little bit forward. He saw a wild boar, also in a similar situation, broken leg, arrow pierced, still not dead, twitching in misery. He's thinking, what is this? And he went further right. He saw a rabbit in the same condition. He's like bewildered. Why are all these half dead animals lying around? He was so pained. Went a little further. Behind a tree, hiding behind a tree, there was a hunter holding a bow and arrow, and he was aiming at a group of animals nearby. He was waiting to kill more. And Narad could understand this is the work of this person. This person, his form was also terrible. His body was darkish, reddish eyes, looked very fierce. He looked as if he was Yamaraj, standing with bows and arrows. So Narad Muni left the walking path and he went to this hunter. As he started approaching the hunter, the wild animals that the hunter was about to kill, they saw Narad Muni walking there and they all ran away. Hunter was very angry. I am hiding here trying to kill these animals. You came here and all my animals ran away. You scared them away. Why are you disturbing me? He was about to give him bad words. The hunter is about to use foul language. But the Bhagavatam says, the CC says, that because of the influence of Narad Muni, abusive language did not come out from the mouth of this hunter. So this is what happens, the influence of a great soul. When a very great devotee is in our presence or comes into our presence, the overwhelming influence of his devotional aura. Have you all experienced this? When we come in front of the spiritual master and other very great, those who are much more pure than us, just being in their aura transforms our consciousness. Suddenly we start feeling taste for Hari Katha, which we didn't have 5 minutes earlier. Suddenly we start feeling very devotional. Just the presence of great souls induces in us a different kind of energy. It brings out a different energy. So he couldn't be abusive. Even though normally he was abusive, the influence of Narad Muni couldn't utter any abusive thing. But anyway, he was angry. He told Narad Muni, "Oh Goswami, what is this? You seem to be a great saintly person. You were going by that road. Why didn't you mind your own business? You came here, you scared away my animals. Why are you doing like this and disturbing me?" He managed to say this. He managed to register his protest without any abusive language. Narad Muni said, yeah, I was going down this way, but I came here because I had a doubt. I saw all these half-killed animals along the way, and then I saw you about to hunt more. Is this your work? Are all these half-dead animals your work? Huh? And this hunter, his name is Mrigari, the famous Mrigari story. Mriga means animal, Ari means enemy. He's the enemy of animals. Why is the enemy of animals? Because he loves to half kill animals. Arjuna asked him, why you are a hunter, you wanted to kill, why didn't you properly kill? Why you are half killing these animals and making them suffer? Hunter said, my name is Mrigari, I am the enemy of animals. I learned this technique of killing. This is how my father taught me. This is the parampara that I am coming from. Not spiritual parampara, the hunter parampara. Evam parampara praptam. I learned, my father told me and taught me like this. This is how you kill. And I am enjoying it. When the animals suffer, I feel so good. This kind of pleasure people in lower consciousness, sadists, they get. We should watch out for these kind of pleasure. Sometimes it may be lurking in our hearts also. When we are envious of others, we enjoy seeing them suffer, right? And those who we dislike, oh, this devotee is like this. Something bad happens, they are suffering, they had an accident, could deserve him. He did like this to me. I'm just relating this to a devotional context. But of course, he was relishing the suffering. This kind of a sadistic pleasure comes when a person gets the sense of a false sense of control that see how much pain I can cause you. And they enjoy that. Just see my power that I can give you so much pain and I can get away with it. You are at my mercy. That kind of a joy. So he told honestly. He didn't pretend, no, my arrow slightly missed the mark. He just told him plain, I enjoy this. Narad Muni said, can I request you one thing? I know you're a hunter by profession. I don't want to say you stop hunting altogether. It's one thing to kill an animal completely. Yeah, there is still some sin. But this kind of deliberately half killing them, making them suffer for a long time. Huh? Then, Brigari says, no, what is it that you really want? You want some skins of the animals, is it? That's why you have come here. I can give you some skins. I have killed so many animals. No. I am not interested in anything from you. He thought Narad Muni wants something from me. I just want to beg you, please don't do this. I just want one charity. Please, you want to kill them, you kill them. Why you are making them suffer so much? If you leave them half dead and allow them to remain half dead and suffer for a long time, you will have to suffer the reactions. And this is very great sin if you half kill them. Better you kill them immediately. All these animals which you have given unnecessary pain, they will come in later lives and they will also inflict pain on you life after life after life. When Mrigari heard these words from the lips of Narada Muni, the words of Narada Muni actually penetrated into his heart. And he started reflecting. He started feeling a bit afraid. Now it matters a lot who speaks spiritual wisdom. If maybe one of us were in the same situation and we spoke exactly the same thing that Narad Muni spoke to Mrigari, perhaps the impact may not have been so much. I've heard all this karma and all that. When a great pure soul speaks spiritual instruction, his words, because of his realization and purity, have a piercing effect on our consciousness. It cuts through the layers of our ignorance and goes and hits our spiritual conscience deep down. He was shaken. Mrigari was shaken. He says, yeah, I can understand what you're saying, but what to do? I've been in this business generations after generations. This is our family business. How can I give up? But is there a way that I can become free from these volumes of sins that I have gathered? I cannot even imagine how much sins I would have gathered by now. Please tell me, O saintly person, since you have diagnosed the problem, please tell me what is the solution. And suddenly he came into that mood by his great good fortune, into the mood like Arjuna. I am a soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me how I should be free. This is a very rare thing. It happens. Even in today's time, it happens. Suddenly, when the time is ripe and a sadhu comes, when greatly sinful people suddenly change. Karpanya doshopahat svabhava prachhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yashreyasya nishchitam. Just tell me what is best for me. Narad Muni told him, you are surrendering to me, you are asking me for instructions. If I give you instructions, if you listen to them properly, definitely you will get liberated. Yes, 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 whatever you say, I will do. Okay. I will tell you. First thing, please break your bow. Huh? Instruction number 1, break your bow. Very difficult instruction. If I break my bow, how will I maintain myself? I am hunter. You are asking me to break the tools of my craft. Narmani says, you trust me, no? You said you are trusting me. Don't worry. You're worried about your food. I will arrange for your food. I guarantee. He did not doubt, because such a great soul, he said, okay, if he is saying, he can do it. Brigari broke his bow and he surrendered. That's the symptom of surrender. Surrender is not just verbally saying something. He displayed through his action that I'm willing to give up everything for the sake of the Lord. That the Lord appreciates very much. Lip service is not very difficult. Oh, I am your servant. Oh, Lord, I am a soul surrender. I mean, we can all say, it's nice to say also. But Krishna takes it seriously when it is backed up by by a substantial action. For Mrigari, breaking the bow, a substantial action or a substantial demonstration of his willingness to follow. This leap of faith, it's not easy. Usually we want so much certainty before we take our next step towards Krishna. But those who take a leap of faith, I don't know how it will work out, but I just have faith in Guru and Krishna, it will work out somehow. Krishna appreciates, Guru appreciates. In my own life, many times I have seen, whenever in my own small way I was able to demonstrate that, even to a little extent, I've always seen Krishna and Guru reciprocating very, very positively. Krishna appreciates that very. Doesn't matter how fallen we are, if you are willing to take the leap of faith, of trusting Him, His words, and His shelter and protection, doesn't matter what mess we are in or we have come from. This is the truth. That's why Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami. It doesn't limit it. Only 1,000 papas I will release you from, or 10,000, not more than that. Only these kind of papas, other kind of papas you still have to suffer. No, aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami. Mashucha. Don't fear. Everything I'll take care. Full file. I take charge. So once he surrendered fully, Narad Muni gave him detailed instructions for spiritual advancement. Summarily, what Narad Muni told him was, you broken your bow, now no more hunting. You want serious instructions, no? For perfection. Huh? Whatever riches you have gathered, you go home first. Whatever riches you have gathered in your home by this sinful method, you distribute it to the pure Brahmanas who are well versed in the supreme truth. After you have distributed all your wealth, you and your wife should leave your present home just wearing one piece of cloth, go to the river. Of course, that is the Prayagraj, so auspicious holy river. On the bank of this river, construct a small cottage. In front of that cottage, plant tulasi. Very explicitly, Lord Narad Muni instructs. On a raised platform, plant a plant tulsi in front of your house. Every day you should water her and circumambulate her. Worship tulasi. And sit in front of tulasi and continuously chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So, and you mentioned about food. Don't worry about food. You are thinking, if I break the bow, now I've distributed all my wealth. If I'm sitting and just chanting Hare Krishna in front of Tulsi on the bank of the holy river, where my breakfast, lunch, dinner will come from? Don't worry, that is my problem. You took shelter of me, now I will take care of you. Every day you will get your food. I will send that food to you. The Guru took charge. As much as you want, you take. Don't overeat. But I will ensure that you get your food. Your only duty is you and your wife lead a pure life, no more violence, worship Tulasi, chant the holy name. Only two instructions. And for food, whatever food comes on its own accord, and I will arrange for it, just accept it by offering to the Lord and accept. Just keep your body and soul together all other time. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. तुलसी परिक्रमा कर तुलसी सेवन निरंतर कृष्ण नाम करिह कीर्तन निरंतर Krishna नाम. The symptom of those who are very advanced in Krishna consciousness is nirantara loho naam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes a very interesting statement. I came across it just a couple of days ago. Very nice. Let me just look. Just suddenly remembered that. Let me find that for you and read out. Very nice thing. Just Nirantara Nama. This is so important. Of course, we are all being instructed by the spiritual master to chant minimum 16 rounds. About 16 rounds, Prabhupada says is minimum, is entry level. And that's good. Those who are doing are respected as serious cultivators or serious aspirants for spiritual life. But if somebody wants to become totally free from all offenses and attain Shuddhanam, Thakur says, the only real way is Nirantara Nama. Continuous chanting. I'm just quoting Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which the word he uses is Avishranta Nama. Avishranta. Avishranta means chanting the name without rest. Our beads are fasting every day after 16 rounds, isn't it? Until next day. Our stomach we feed many times a day, but our beads are fasting after 16 rounds. But Avishranta Nama. Continuous chanting or Avishranta Nama. Only one who chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with great feeling all the time, during the day and night, except during the time required for fulfilling the most basic bodily necessities, such as sleeping, etc., is able to successfully destroy the 10 offenses. The 10 offenses to the holy name, chanting cannot be obliterated or destroyed by any other kind of atonement or activity. Very interesting. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I'm quoting verbatim, which basically is emphasizing what all our acharyas are saying. This Avishranta Nam is what Haridas Thakur was doing. So one should chant. Of course, in very advanced stages, one is not always just chanting on the beats. Manasik japa is also going on. So even as they are going about doing their various duties, the Nama is going on. Nama, Nirantara. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. When one is continuously absorbed like that, no offenses can happen. Anyway, that was a side comment because Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned. So coming back, the instruction that Narad Muni gave to him is work towards Avishranta Nama. You have no other duty to perform. Worship Tulsi, chant Hare Krishna, don't even bother about your food, that will also come. And after giving that instruction, those three animals, the boar, the rabbit, and what was the third animal? Boar.
Deer.
Deer, yes, first was deer. Narad Muni went to them, he instantly revived them. They were about to die, instantly revived them. They immediately jumped and scampered and ran away. Murigari is saying, oh, my Gurudev is, far out. He's a very powerful personality. He's a very great soul. He also gave him demo. I'm not simply giving instructions. Not that it was necessary or not that it is always necessary, but he immediately saw that this great personality is not simply speaking. Just look at his potency. He knows what he's talking. He can revive. He was struck with wonder. He offered him obeisances. And then his faith in following the instructions of the Guru further increased. So when we see, even though of course in our own line, Srila Prabhupada never gives so much emphasis on miracles and things like that, and not that it is necessary, but if we see that in the lives of advanced devotees, either we directly see or we hear their experiences of their direct relationship with the Lord and their direct experiences, that gives us faith that this person who's teaching me, who's telling me, has, has contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has great power and potency. And that gives us more faith to take more deeper shelter. So after instructing him like this, Narad Muni left. Mrigari followed exactly like what he was instructed. He distributed his wealth. He and his wife put on one cloth, set up a small simple cottage near the river, sowed a tulsi plant. And when they sat, they didn't even make any endeavor to look for food. Guru has instructed, food will come. And exactly as Narad Muni had said, by the Lord's arrangement and by the blessings of Narad Muni, the nearby village people found out about the sudden transformation of this cruel hunter Mrigari. They were very curious. This person is totally transformed. He's become sadhu. He has become a Vaishnava. He was the worst and he has now become the topmost. So they started coming and giving him alms in charity. Please accept this offering. Please take these fruits. Please take these roots. Please take these grains. Every day, so many of these villagers would come and give him offerings. He said he got so much food. The Bhagavatam says 10 to 20 people could eat that much food he would get every day. But he would only take whatever he needed and the rest he would say, thank you, but I have enough. So in that way, he was perfectly following. Guru has told, take only as much. I will arrange. Don't be greedy. Don't stock. So Nirantara Krishna Nama, Tulasi worship at a holy place on the bank of the holy river at the Triveni Sangam. Perfect example. This went on for a long time. One day, Narad Muni and Parvat Muni and Narad Muni are very close friends. Narad Muni was passing that way and he told his good friend Parvat Muni, hey, one of my disciples is here. It's been a while since I last instructed him. I want to go and meet up with him. Would you like to come along? Parvat Muni said, yeah, let us go. So as Narad Muni and Parvat Muni started approaching this small cottage, The hunter, Mrigari, no longer a hunter. Mrigari and his wife were chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nirantara Nama was going on. They had been so transformed by seriously following the instructions of their spiritual master, seriously taking shelter of the holy name, giving up all material attachments. From a distance, when Mrigari saw his guru and his guru's godbrother coming towards his cottage, he immediately got up in great ecstasy and he started running towards the spiritual master to receive him and offer him obeisances. But as he was running towards him, suddenly he, for some strange reason, was started stumbling and not walking properly. Instead of offering obeisances, he stopped midway and did not offer obeisances. Why? Because Mrigari saw down before he could offer obeisances that there were ants which were moving around on the floor. Narad Muni said, he saw this. And Narad Muni remarked in an astonished way, "Oh, my dear hunter, it's very amazing." Actually, it is not very amazing that you are showing this behavior. Just look at what has happened. What transformation. You used to half kill animals and enjoy giving them misery. But just see what transformation has happened to you, that you have automatically become non-violent simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord. A devotee of the Lord is always the best of gentlemen. Automatically, by following the process of devotional service, O hunter, all good qualities, non-violence, etc., have developed in you. Because those who become advanced in devotional service, they never are inclined to give pain to anybody, because of envy. This is one of the qualities Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. This is very dear to me, very dear to me at the end of the chapter 12, that series of verses in Bhagavad Gita. One of the things Krishna says of a devotee who's very dear to him is he who doesn't cause any problem or trouble to anybody else. So we have to ask ourselves. Hopefully, we are only adding value to others. We are not the cause of suffering and misery for others. Parvat Muni was seeing all this. Parvat Muni was also so surprised and astonished. Then Mrigari set out 2 mats for Parvat Muni and Narad Muni to sit, and he begged them to sit down. He brought water pot and he and his wife washed the lotus feet of both of these great sages. They drank the water, the Charanamrut, they sprinkled it on their head. And as he was doing this, Nirantar Nam was going on. He didn't stop chanting. As he was doing this, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And his chanting was producing ecstatic symptoms in his body. His body was trembling, tears were rolling down from his eyes. And suddenly, because of chanting, he was feeling so enlivened in devotional service. He started to jump and dance and started waving his garments up and down. So Parvat Muni saw this, wow, what is this? He said, hunter, just see what it is. And he started glorifying Narad Muni. Because he understood the credit, of course, there is some credit for Mrigari also. But who could have caused such a transformation other than Narad Muni? Narad Muni is the touchstone who touched this iron, cast iron, impure cast iron, and transformed it into gold. Parvat Muni said, "Oh, my dear friend, Narada, you are Deva Rishi, you are the Rishi amongst the Devatas. By your mercy, even such a low-born hunter became so attached to Krishna." Then Narad Muni asked, just smiled and he asked his disciple, खाने पीने का सब ठीक है ना? You are managing, you are eating. Huh? And Mrigari said, "Oh, my dear Gurudev, you have made all the arrangements for me. In fact, I have a request to you. Please don't send so much. It's too much for me and my wife to eat. Just need little bit for two of us." And Narad Muni was so happy to see this mood of his disciple that he's satisfied with a little bit. Satisfied with a little bit. So these are very important principles for advancement in spiritual life. I know if we look at these principles, these may seem very far out. Some of us may feel very bapre. You know, I cannot break my laptop and go and Triveni and build a cottage and I and my wife will be okay. It's okay. We are all not quite there, but these are superlative examples of what transformation can happen in a very short time if we strictly follow the process. But we have to slowly work towards it. We should not be averse to coming to that point. At least the principles we can slowly. What are the principles? Chanting as much as possible, Nirantar. Even if not Nirantar, but as much as possible, even as we are going about doing our daily duties. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. The principle to remain satisfied. I'm not saying just take enough for 2 times eating. Maybe we are not yet Mrigari level. But at least not greedy or chasing after too much material endeavor. Whatever comes about by executing our professions in an honest, earnest way, we are satisfied. We take and whatever we have, we somehow use in Krishna's service. When we live a simple life like that, an honest means of livelihood, taking as much as we need, using a bit of it in Krishna's service, and spending most of our time absorbed in holy name and devotional service. That is the formula for smooth spiritual advance. Narad Muni was very happy by seeing how seriously his disciple was following his instructions. He said, "You are very fortunate." He blessed him. And Narad Muni and Parvat Muni disappeared from that place. Lord Chaitanya is narrating this to Sanatana Goswami. He says, "See, I told you this particular story. I am narrating you this kind of Nirgrantha api. Hunter also. They also can be delivered by the association of pure duty." So this verse is very important to also demonstrate the power of association of great devotees. Isn't it? If we all reflect in our own lives, what made us devotees? Somewhere we will see that we came in contact with devotees. That is when we became devotees. Devotional service is not a relatable concept. It becomes appreciated and understood only in the association of devotees. The Lord has kept a system like that. You cannot understand on your own. You can read the words, but you'll not be able to relate it. Unless from previous lifetimes you already have some devotional service. Then if you are in contact with devotional literature, that previous bhava, like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, automatically comes out. So Lord Chaitanya went on and he explained uh, a few more meanings. Then he explained one more meaning of the word Atma. Maybe I think I should stop here. Maybe we'll complete the rest of the chapter in the next class. It's already just beyond 10. Okay, I'll stop here. 285 verse onwards. I think we should be able to complete the chapter 355. Yeah, in the next class. Okay, so I'm going to pause here with this particular beautiful pastime. Thank you all for patiently hearing and hope you are feeling enlivened just like I am feeling enlivened by hearing these beautiful words of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, any questions, any comments? Wonderful. So thank you so much. So please, with great enthusiasm. So our chanting has to be very attentively. There are two things: attention and with affection. Affection is also very important. Sometimes you may feel, oh, Prabhu, I have no affection. But by regularly reading the glories of the Lord, we will develop some affection, little bit affection. That's why we have to hear Hari Katha in the association of devotees. Then the appreciation for the all attractive Krishna. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarna rasayana katha tad joshanadhi apavarga vartmani. Shraddha, rati. Rati means intense attachment. Bhakti, pure love. Anukramishati, gradually progresses. Satam prasanga. So all formula is there. Actually, none of us can complain. We don't have to go through as much as Mrigari, and we have Narad Muni's representative in front of us also. All instructions is there. What is lacking? What is lacking is Mrigari's determination. Correct? We are all situated at different levels of determination. You know what actually pleases Krishna? Huh? If one is able to, you know, in Hindi as they say, जो दुनिया को ठुकरा सकता है भगवान के लिए, who can, who is not bothered about the rest of the world. Krishna and service to Krishna and devotional service is everything. If somebody develops that mentality and demonstrates that even a little bit, Krishna's attention is immediately grabbed. So, and you see that in the character of Mrigari. He was so sinful. Huh? How did he make so much advancement? He received so much mercy. Of course, he received Guru's instruction. We have also received Guru's instruction. What out of this we did not know before we heard this class? What out of this we didn't know? Huh? But is our transformation as much as what happened between Narad Muni's first and second visit? Of course, we are still making progress. I'm not saying we are not making progress, but the rate of progress depends on how much seriously we are taking shelter, how seriously we are following instructions, how much we are taking shelter of the holy name, how much we are detached from non-essential pursuits. Okay? So thank you very much. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. So we'll continue our Bhagavatam discussion on Saturday, and this particular chapter we will, Krishna willing, complete next Tuesday. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakti.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hari Sarva Lakshmi Mataji, Sridhari Mataji, Sridhar Prabhu, Srini Mataji, Sunil Madhav, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Raj and family, Sudhir Sundar Prabhu. Thank you all very much. I will